Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to use a new format for build videos. So less showcasing the setup, because that stuff is on my website anyway, link in the description. And I want to put a heavier focus on like rotation, combat metrics, parse, and so on, which you guys are probably interested in. So Stem Wardens, this patch, really freaking strong. One of the top tier DPS. I had a lot of fun in Black Rose Prison with this setup. You can see I already uploaded some videos and so on. And you can use this build solo, group dungeon, trials, wherever you want. So first things first, what changed with this class? So it got a lot of buffs. First off, Bullnetch now restores more stamina. Cutting Dive, Sub-Assault got the cost reduction. Bird of Prey, now while slotted you gain minor berserk, 8% more damage. Previously you had to activate it. Very strong. And on top of that, Advanced Species, previously 2%, now you get 3% extra damage. So that's how Stem Warden really climbed up the ladders. A lot of like resource management changed, you got better sustain and a lot of extra damage through passives like this and Bird of Prey. Now keep in mind, minor berserk is the same thing as combat prayer, so if you have a healer in it you might not need this if your healer is using combat prayer. Now I do have on my website 2 screenshots, one fully buffed in combat and one non-buffed. You can check it out. We're running the Lever Mundus Stone, like always, and the cool thing is, because we have such nice sustain, we can now run blue food, max health, max stem food, which is really cool. We still use the weapon power pots. Technically you don't need brutality because the Bullnetch gives it, but you will most likely not have it always up, so I still recommend using those potions. Race, Redguard, still the way to go, will give you the best sustain. Gear wise, not a lot changed, so Relican and Yokida for single target is still the best choice. I use 3 Bloodthirsty at the moment. You can also use 2 Bloodthirsty and 1 infused. All weapon damage and chance. Now Selene disappeared, Velidref is now here. Relican used to proc Selene, but it does not anymore. So that's why Velidref is again the choice to go to. It deals about the same damage as Selene, but the one piece bonus is stronger compared to the Selene monster helmet. Weapons here also, so there's a lot of cool things. We run triple infuse now. So you want to make sure to have a poison enchantment on the main hand, absorb stem enchant on the off hand. This is really good because now it deals physical damage and it restores stamina. So it's almost the same damage as the poison enchant, but in addition you also get the extra stem return. Back bar, weapon damage. Now you will have 100% berserker uptime, like this weapon damage enchantment with this setup. It's really like we have so much more damage this patch. The reason why also those enchantments changed a little bit is now like rending slashes, even the damage over time ticks can now proc enchantments and so on. So it's a lot easier to proc. Same with this here. Usually you only use the proc from light attacks. Now it also procs from endless hail. So that's why we get the 100% uptime. There's that 2 daggers. 7 medium, all divine. It's all on my website. Now champion points, I will just quickly jump through them. You can find it on my site. It's a pretty basic setup. If you want a specific trial setup, especially for the red champion points, go to my site. I have an article on that, because you can mitigate a lot of damage if you know how to set those red CPs correctly for a specific trial. Skill setup, Bullnetch, rending slashes, cutting dive, sub-assault, bird of prey, wild guardian, endless hail, rearming trap, razor cult drops, poison injection, vigor, wild guardian. Now this here is your flex spot. If you think you don't need heals, place this as well here. Because not only gives this 8% damage, it also gives you another 3%, right? Should not forget that. If you need AoE damage, you can always use Steel Tornado instead of Rending Slashes. That's usually how I change it up. I just use Tornado here and I take out Steel Tornado if I have to fight a lot of trash packs. If you don't like the bear, swap it out with Dawnbreaker and Ballista Ulti. Just keep in mind, the bear now in dungeons and arenas, trials, doesn't take any damage anymore, so he cannot die. So that's technically a huge buff, because now you can actually use the bear. If you don't like Relican, you can also run War Machine. There's a lot of good optional sets, all explained on my site. Please make sure, do not forget to subscribe, and if you like the build video and the Warden changes in general, make also sure to hit that juicy like button. So when we look at the rotation, a few things changed, but like always, the number one most important thing is light attack between abilities, okay? Light attack ability, and so on. And you hear there's audio sound when you do the light attack. Hear it. You need to make sure to do a light attack between each ability, otherwise you will lose a lot of DPS, enchantment uptimes, and so on. Back bar, more or less still the same. You do Endless Hail, light attack, trap, light attack, cult drops, light attack, poison injection, weapon swap. And nothing really changed there. I also highly recommend activating, where is it? Quick cast ground abilities. It will make things a lot smoother. So like it auto casts, so you don't need to double tap it. And now the one thing that changed in the previous updates, what we used to do is ability, weapon swap, light attack, endless hail, right? So now we are changing that a little bit. So we do an ability, light attack, weapon swap, ability. That is because the animations just match up better and you can cast the next ability faster, as you can see. So this here is correct. Ability, light attack, weapon swap, ability. This here is incorrect. Ability, weapon swap, light attack, ability. So you want to do ability, light attack, weapon swap, ability. Just when you go to the back bar, you don't do a light attack. Like previously, we should start with the ability. Now rotation wise, you will see in the parse as well. Back bar is kind of obvious. You do trap, hail, trap, cult drops, poison injection, weapon swap, sub assault, rending, cutting, sub assault, 2 birds, another sub assault, weapon swap. When I do this fast, that's it. Now, you see we do sub-assault, rending slashes, bird, sub-assault, bird, bird, sub-assault. That's how we get 3 subs in. What do you need to do if you want to activate Bullnetch or Guardian? So you do sub-assault, rending slashes, bird, Bullnetch. Then you do sub-assault. Or sub-assault, rending slashes, while Guardian. The main thing you need to remember for this rotation is you do a sub-assault, 2 abilities, sub-assault, 2 abilities, sub-assault, weapon swap. That's the main thing. But anyway, let's just do a full parse on the 6 million dummy here. When we take a look at the parse, so first off, just the overall stats that we have, like 32.6k max stam, 3800 weapon damage, 76.6% weapon crit. It's like the average. Keep in mind I used free bloodthirsty for this here. Another thing I want to mention, weapon damage enchantment, 93%. So even like that's the one we have on the back bar here. It's really nice. Other than that, about the debuff, so you have seen I was in a group, so I had vulnerability and off balance. Fracture came from sub-assault, so I kind of try to make it a little bit more like a raid setup, the target dummy debuff and so on, and I will use the same debuffs on all classes so we kind of can compare them in the end. I also had a minor savagery, increasing my weapon crit by another 6% from the Nightblade, keep that in mind. Other than that, Hawkeye, very important, you need to do light attacks on the bow bar, because you get higher damage if you like do light attacks, as you see here. That's one thing a lot of people forget, and like I keep saying, you need to make sure that those light attacks hit the target. Don't forget to do light attacks. 6.6k damage is a lot of damage, and it also procs poisoned weapon, absorbs stam, and so on. Relican, top single target set. Just keep in mind, if you fight AoE, Relican is not the best choice. Maybe you want to run something like, I don't know, Vicious Serpent, maybe another penetration set, because Alcast will not be that useful. There's a lot of good options, I have them on my site. Overall physical penetration was 11.4. In a raid you will most likely get to like 18k, so your overall damage will again be higher, just for information, and obviously war horns and so on. But overall, like with those debuffs and so on, this is very freaking strong. That's why I say stem Wardens are really freaking nice now. Endless Hail with the Maelstrom bow also hits like a truck, as you can see, and this is AoE and single target. I mean, here it's only the target dummy, but this will also deal a lot of damage on AoE fights. That's what I'm trying to say. Sub-Assault, Cutting Dive, very similar in damage. We used more or less same amount. And those two abilities are very cheap. We proc this 3 times per rotation, so that's how we can really have a low cost rotation. Yeah. Razor Cult drops and so on. The enchantments also very important. As you can see, 3.4k from the poison and 2.5k from the absorb stem. That's this one. Yeah, that's more or less it. I think I've talked about the most important stuff. Keep in mind we're on the PTS. You will most likely get a little bit higher on the live server. If you have any questions about the build in general, or just about the rotation and so on, rotation is on my website. You can find everything on my website. If you have a question, ask in the comment section below or when I'm live streaming. And please don't forget to subscribe. Till then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.